actually not fat. You're full of water.
I mean, how did you not get to this part of the video and assume it was a joke? Coach Greg, and today we're squashing myths about dieting. Charlie Roquette has posted 2 reels, minute each, of which half of it is nonsense. A number of people kept sending me his video saying, Coach Greg, do a video on this. I was like, it's a joke, he's kidding. But he then later made another video. And I, of course, thought he was kidding, but I went to the comments section. Guy's not joking. This is real life. I was shocked and appalled to think that people thought that this was actually true when you're losing weight. Things such as, you can be in a deficit and still gain weight. And so we're going to watch the 2 clips, and I'm going to correct them when he's wrong, explain what's really happening, and at the end of the video, hopefully you'll learn a thing or 2.
We're on 10 weeks of gaining weight. I'm up 6 pounds.
And so he's been dieting for 10 weeks, yet he's put on 6 pounds. He's done boxing, runs, lifting weights, eating no carbs, no sugar, but yet he's gained weight. How could that be possible? You're in a surplus. You're eating more calories than you're burning off. You might be running, lifting weights, and boxing, but if you are eating more calories than you're burning, you're going to gain weight. And just because you cut out carbs, it doesn't mean you're magically going to be in a deficit. If you're eating lots of fats and protein and cutting out your carbs, aka you're on a keto diet, doesn't mean you're automatically going to lose weight. To lose weight, you need to be in a deficit. So no matter what you are doing, if you're gaining the weight, you need to eat fewer calories or burn more of them off.
Been gaining weight my whole life. I've been fighting this since I was on my first diet at age 8. Let's get scientific. Because I am tired of gaining.
And so he's been fat, obese his entire life. Clearly he doesn't have amazing genetics for being lean. Been dieting since the age of 8 and hasn't found a diet that works. So I understand that if you're someone like this, of course you're going to think calories in, calories out doesn't work. Because you've tried everything and you haven't been successful. But the reason you haven't been successful is because you haven't been able to sustain a calorie deficit. It's that simple. If you could eat foods that were lower in calories that allowed you to be in a deficit and stay on the diet long enough, you would lose weight. And just because you gained 6 pounds doesn't mean you never lost any fat. If you start a diet program, eating healthier than last time, and you're training hard, you very well could be adding muscle. And so if the scale weight goes up, perhaps 6 pounds, doesn't mean the scale weight for your body fat went down. So just because the scale doesn't show you what you want it to see, doesn't mean you're not actually burning fat. You could be recomping, losing fat and building muscle at the same time. At the same damn time.
What does my blood work say? What are my problems? What does my DNA say?
And so some great points are made. Get your blood work done. Absolutely. You could have an underactive thyroid. If so, you could need medication, and that would help you to burn more calories. So it's not that this is not true. It's just that even with poor genetics, poor blood work, poor everything, if you're in a deficit, you will still lose weight. It makes it harder to lose weight. But if you're in a deficit, you are in fact going to lose weight.
You're actually not fat. You're full of water.
And you gotta laugh. This is where I thought, this is a joke. Until this point, I thought, okay, good video, let's see, I'm gonna comment. But he gets a call and says, guess what? You're not overweight, you just carried a shit ton of water. Really? You look at this guy's picture, 235 pounds, clearly 40% body fat plus. And he says, it's not that you're overweight, you're just holding a lot of water. Water! Does anyone here not think that water looks different than fat? Can you be bloated to that extent? Carried a bunch of water? Of course not. So that is 100% false. You cannot be 40% body fat and actually be lean because you're carrying a bunch of water. However, you can carry more water on some days than others, and you can be bloated. Your weight could fluctuate daily from water intake.
You're actually not fat. You're full of water.
I mean, how did you not get to this part of the video and assume it was a joke? Am I the only one that thought that this was a joke at that part of the video?
What are my food sensitivities?
And food sensitivities, of course, some people don't get along with some foods more than others. You might get bloated, you might get an upset stomach, you could be celiac, or perhaps you can't consume dairy. But it doesn't change the fact that if you're in a deficit, you're gonna lose weight.
You're insulin resistant.
I am pre-diabetic. Really?
Shocking. 235 pounds, been overweight his whole life, probably doesn't eat a proper diet, obviously carrying too much weight and a calorie surplus, and he's pre-diabetic. And guess how you could reduce your chance of being pre-diabetic, or how to get better? You lose the weight. Did you ever think of that? If you lose the weight, perhaps 50 pounds, 25, whatever, you can reduce your insulin resistance and not be pre-diabetic.
When insulin rises, you cannot burn fat.
Well, guess what? If you're in a deficit, you're going to burn fat. So why worry about your insulin when you know for fact, 100% certainty, that if you're in a deficit, you're going to lose weight? You're concerned over the minutiae of details that overall has no real significant impact on your weight loss journey. Whether you're eating carbs or not carbs, you're a carbophobe, keto, oh, insulin here, cardio there, don't do it now. Just eat healthy and be in a deficit. Do so for long enough and you are guaranteed 100% of the time to lose weight.
Calories in versus calories out means nothing.
Calories in, calories out means everything. All of the things, every single one of them, calories in, calories out equals that. Everything boils down to calories in, calories out. Everything. Whether you fix your hormones, whether you take something to help you burn more fat, burn more calories, whether you're doing cardio, lifting weights, sleeping, increasing your BMR, NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis, it all boils down to calories in, calories out. What you're trying to do is burn more calories and have your body consume fewer calories to change the scale. Change it so that you're in a deficit. And if you're in a deficit, you're going to lose weight. Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Quite a bit of genetic stuff going on here, I hate to tell you.
I got 4 bad genes. I was dealt a bad hand.
Of course you were dealt a bad hand. You chose the wrong parents, not me, but you. And you have some bad genes. Yes, it makes it more difficult to lose weight. You have a slower metabolism. You have more fat cells. You have more ghrelin punching you in the face, making you want to eat. Not as much leptin. It's just harder for you. I get it. But you still need to be in a deficit to lose weight.
I think we found the answer.
And so the video ends with, I think we found the answer. He's pumped. Imagine if he had Coach Greg as coach. Tell him, I've had the answer. Get my freaking cookbook. Once he discovered that you could eat low-calorie, delicious recipes, keep him full, of course he would lose weight. He would be in a calorie deficit. He can do all the other things that all the other experts tell him to do, including swimming like I'm doing right now, which would burn calories, and it would help him to lose weight. But what is the secret? Let's go to his next video where we get to find out.
I think I have the answer to why so many Americans are overweight even though they're dieting and exercising.
He's got the answer. The reason why so many Americans, they're overweight even though they're on a diet and they're exercising. Let's see if he says you're still in a calorie surplus. Let's see if he says that. I bet $1 million he's not going to say that. Well, let's see.
People are telling me that it's impossible to gain weight if you're eating less calories than you burn. It is possible.
Well, technically, it's not impossible to gain weight because it could be water weight. But as we described earlier in the video, it's not all water weight that this guy has. So if you go in a calorie deficit for one day, maybe a week, and the scale weight goes up, obviously it could be water. But it's not going to be fat. You can't be in a deficit and get fat. It doesn't work like that. Your body needs energy to make fat and muscle. You can't just magically build with nothing.
We've been documenting this for 10 weeks.
And so if you've been documenting that you've gained 6 pounds in 10 weeks in a deficit, what you've done is you've documented incorrectly. You thought you added up the calories correctly, you didn't, or you thought you accurately determined how many calories you're burning. Very difficult to do either. Labels are notoriously inaccurate, they're illegally allowed to lie, 20% off. It could say it's 100 calories and actually be 120. So you're thinking, oh, I only ate 100 calories, but it's 120. You're thinking I'm on a 2,000 calorie diet, but you're actually on 2,400. Because the labels lie. Also, the cardio machine you're on, the Fitbit, the watch, it says you burn off 1,000 calories in that 1 hour walk. Problem is, it was only 400. Those things are inaccurate. How do you know you're actually burning the calories you think you're burning? Oh, but it said so because of my heart rate. Your heart rate can't accurately determine how many calories you're actually burning.
I think Charlie cleaner than all of us.
Do you truly, honestly believe that dieting is just about eating clean? Yeah, if we wash all our foods, we're going to lose weight. And by clean, they mean not junk food, healthy food, chicken, broccoli, and rice. Just because it's healthy doesn't mean you're going to lose weight. Nuts are amazing, super healthy. Problem is they're loaded in calories, 5.8 calories per gram. Ton of calories. Gram of fat, 9 calories. Carbs, 4. Protein, 4. Alcohol, 7. So if you think just because it's healthy that you're going to lose weight, you are sadly mistaken. In fact, you could eat jelly beans, donuts, Twizzlers, and if you eat only 2,000 calories and the other person eats chicken, broccoli, and rice 3,000, you're losing more weight eating shit than they are on the perfect diet. So, sorry, it's not about being healthy, it's about being in a deficit.
The rest of this episode is going to be the science of why I've gained weight despite doing everything right.
And so the rest of the video, the science of why I gained weight despite doing everything. I'm going to summarize the science in one word. Surplus! Going to explain the science on why we gained weight. You're in a calorie surplus. It's so simple. This is so easy. Going to explain the science about why this is happening to my body. It's shocking. And all you millions of Americans who are overweight, you're experiencing the same thing. You need somebody to tell you it's not your fault. It's your fault. You're the one that never puts the spoon back down or the fork and you're eating in a calorie surplus. Not saying it's easy to do so, but you're ultimately the last person that decides what goes in your mouth or not in your mouth. If you want to lose weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit. You need to eat fewer calories or burn more of them off.
Is to block any other form of energy utilization in the body. So this means
If I've got fat over here and insulin rises,
you cannot burn fat.
They're saying when insulin rises, it blocks your body's ability to burn fat in any other way. You can't burn the fat, it's blocked. You know how you can get your insulin levels to fall? Calorie deficit. If you're in a calorie deficit, your body has no choice. It needs to get calories from your body fat or muscle, but mostly body fat, to get used as energy. If you're not eating enough calories, your body needs to sustain work. If you're going for a walk and you're not eating, you're in a deficit, your body needs energy from somewhere because it can't magically perform work without energy. It is impossible. It would be like trying to light a fire without any wood or matches. You just say, poof, fire. You need something to create that fire. And so when you're walking, you're creating energy. You're sweating, you get hot, you need energy. The energy comes from somewhere. If you're in a calorie deficit, your body has no choice, zero choice, but to get the energy to make you do this or die. If it can't get the energy, you're dead. You die. So it uses body fat primarily, some muscle tissue, and it uses that to perform the work that you're trying to do. And guess what? If your insulin is low and you're in a surplus, you're still going to store your body fat. You have no choice. If you're in a surplus, this energy, it doesn't magically disappear. You don't just breathe it out magically. It gets used up. That extra energy gets used for something and it gets stored as adipose tissue. That is how it works. That is the science. It's so simple.
Calories in versus calories out means nothing.
It means nothing.
How can someone with a good conscience answer him on the phone and say, means nothing? Has he not checked out the laws of thermodynamics? Has somehow that been rewritten?
30 grams of protein within 30 minutes of waking, followed by 30 minutes of steady state cardiovascular exercise.
There is no magic behind 30-30-30 to burn fat, build muscle. 30 minutes after waking, you can start to eat your protein, and then 30 minutes after that, steady state cardio, because HIIT cardio uses all muscle energy and not fat and blah. Just eat in a deficit. Obviously, if you want to maximize muscle protein synthesis, you're going to eat protein 4 to 5 times a day. You're going to consume between 0.8-1 grams of protein per pound of body weight. But don't think that you can time it in such a way and eat a certain amount of food and do a certain type of cardio at a specific moment in time, and that's the reason why you're going to lose weight. It is not. You will lose weight because you're in the deficit that you need to be in to lose weight.
The weight will fall off.
When your weight comes down too quickly, it's because you're in a dramatic calorie deficit. When that happens, you're going to feel like shit, feel like garbage. Sure, you're going to lose a lot of weight, probably some muscle as well. Metabolism's going to fall. Your NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis, that's also going to go down. And sooner or later, you're going to be at equilibrium. You're no longer going to lose weight unless you drop calories even further. It's the last thing you want, so my advice, lose weight slowly. Don't let the weight fall off. Let it slowly go down. The slower you lose weight, the more likely you're going to keep it up. Weight starts falling off, motivated, yay, I can't believe it's finally happening. Guess how long that's going to last? Not very long, and then you're going to regain all the weight and likely more than you lost in the first place. And it's called yo-yo dieting. That is exactly picture perfect example of yo-yo dieting. Weight falls off, can't handle it, go off the diet, regain all the weight, repeat every year.
What about HIIT training?
You go to the gym. Your body needs energy. It cannot use fat.
He said no HIIT training. You're burning your muscle.
HIIT cardio, when you're doing it, is burning mostly carbs. But guess what? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
The Rock knows, because after the HIIT cardio's done, you're then going to burn the fat. It's so basic and simple, but I get it. You haven't studied this, you don't know it, and so you listen to whoever has the most followers on Instagram and whoever's trying to lose weight. You don't realize the rules that you need to follow because you haven't lost weight. So you think it's got to be something else, some other fad diet you can follow. It's not. You need to be in a calorie deficit, you need to be on a diet you can sustain for the rest of your life, and you need to set realistic goals. If you keep trying to get that dream physique and it's single-digit body fat and you try, it's probably too hard for you. You're not going to be able to sustain that, and so you're going to yo-yo diet year after year. Let me know in the comment section if you thought this was a joke. I thought it was a joke. I guess it's real. I had to be convinced it was real. Ending it here. GregDoucette.com for coaching. Greg Doucette IP Pro. Please watch the Bloops. Harder than last time supplements, including the Turkesterone, pre-workouts, all kinds of stuff. G-Shred, the Circle Diet Book, cookbooks, coaching plans by me, my team, training books. Everything's going on. Click the link in the description. Comment for the algorithm and subscribe. And until next time, I'm out.